Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and you join me here once again in Transport Fever 2 in our Island Hub, or with our Island Hub series. And we're watching one of the latest routes, the latest vehicles we put onto the map in the last episode, because I wanted to come back here, start with this and, well, admit something to you. Yeah, I made a very odd decision. I make a lot of odd decisions, but I made one peculiarly odd decision at the end of the last episode, specifically to do with this route. So let's come out to the map here. It's a lovely setup. Let's zoom back into that. It's a lovely setup, nice new vehicles. I think it's a Russian modded vehicle. Refinery, taking fuel. Now, the way I originally designed this route was to take fuel from here into Dien Bien Phu, which is a growing city. I think it's our third largest when we checked it last time. Has a small demand for fuel, and it didn't really occur to me, but with such a small demand, yes, feeding it should make this town and that demand grow, but how long is it going to take for those vehicles, however few I put on that route, to actually turn a profit? So I've actually redesigned that route, because I had a suspicion it was going to take forever to make any real money. Now, is that truck carrying? Oh, it's carrying one. In fact, that is the only fuel unit being carried on this entire line out of 3 vehicles. So I should bring that back, shouldn't I? So I've changed the route. So it's taking fuel here actually into our exchange station here, which gives that fuel access to all sorts of other places. It could take it up here on this line here into Rangpur, which also has a very small demand at the moment. Also via trucks here into the Dien Bien Phu sort of port-side railway hub here, which again connects to all sorts of other places. Now, when I first redid this route, I didn't put any limits on what this line would do. And what I discovered after playing forward for a little while, what I discovered was that it doesn't so much deliver fuel here as pick up oil coming back from here. So this lovely route here, the Four Aces Transport, our very first Four Aces route, isn't so much bringing combat and grain and stuff into the food processing here, or taking food and other stuff back out to Dien Bien Phu. It's actually then started taking all the oil that was going through this ship-bound route, this water-bound route, taking all that oil into the refinery here at Rangpur. And I thought, oh, I'm not sure I want to do that. No, I may decide to do that. So what I did was I limited this line here. So when it's here, let's get rid of some of these. When it comes in here to the food exchange station, it's actually only picking up either refined oil or fuel. That's all it's loading. Yep. So it's not taking any oil away from those boats. I played on a bit further and it is still really struggling to make money, is that little route. So I may relent, I may decide to abandon these ships, as lovely as they are, and indeed as profitable as that. Well, it's not that profitable. It makes money. It's quite profitable. I could abandon those boats and use trucks to take that fuel, in fact exchange that oil and fuel here using the Four Aces trucks. I could do it by train, but the orientation of this station makes that more awkward to get sort of fuel going in this direction, sort of east-west or west-east, whichever way you want to look at it. So I think the trucks might be better. But I thought, yes, I'd up front admit and let you know that I have made a change here to that truck route. Now, what we're actually going to be doing today, getting on to the main meat of our episode, is something we hinted at, we discovered at the very end of the last episode, is to do with aeroplanes. We now have access by vehicles to Where? Oh, I can't. Can I not buy them? They do turn up. They did turn up, did they not? We did see large aircraft. Maybe because I've got a small airport and a small hangar, it's not letting me buy them. Oh, that's rum. Yeah, so anyway, no, what I'm planning to do is replace this airport. It's a lot larger, as we kind of saw a glimpse of at the end of the last episode, but I'm going to do that. Now, of course, if I'm putting large planes on here, I've then also got to have large airports at the other location, at the other end of the line. And Ajaxima Airport services 2 other airports all the way down, all the way up here at the north of the map. We have, the little Port Moresby. This is only a passenger service now. We've redirected the freight, as we'll see in a second. This is only doing passengers at the moment, so we've got to replace that with a large airport as well, if we want to put large passenger craft on there. And without actually extending the land here, without building all sorts of new land masses here, we're not going to be able to do that. But luckily enough, we do have a fair amount of spare space on this side. So that will be the east side of Port Moresby. So we could do that for our passengers. The freight, which was going into Port Moresby, is now coming here to Hong Kong because it serves the train station and again a little sort of dock, a nice sort of transportation hub, freight hub out here on Hong Kong Island. So that's serving freight into Hong Kong there and Port Moresby over there. And I think we've got plenty of room there for freight airport, a large freight airport. So that's not such a big issue. However, what I'm thinking, I've lost it again. Where's Ajaxima gone? Yeah, you are. What I'm thinking is we need it this way round really to make it make sense. Is I can squeeze a large airport in here. I'll have to do some demolishing and reworking. But I'd like to actually separate out the freight and the passengers. I think. Once we get large aircraft on there, we might find that we don't need as many. So the actual congestion of aircraft in the skies might go away. We shall see. But we're going to come back to that in just a second. Before I do that though, I wanted to just notice something else, which I noticed after I finished the last episode. There it is. There it is. Is Chengdu. Do you remember this? We set it up about 4 or 5 episodes ago. A little combat industrial chain taking stone out of the quarry here to the combat here and out here to the docks for sending combat into Port Moresby and Hong Kong. It didn't make a great deal of money until we connected it up to the train network, which feeds into our main Ajaxima, and it starts sort of mixing up other goods, the tools that is, isn't it, and all sorts of other stuff, and allows that combat to be fed out into other parts of the map. So this little train here, which struggled to make profit in the early days, is now simply not big enough to cope with this. We've got 400 produced stone here in the quarry, and our train, the quarry bulk, a rate of 166. That ain't keeping up. So let's first off, the first thing we're actually going to do today is fix this train. So which one is it? And you are only 6 years old. As you can see, it struggled to make money, but the last 2 or 3 years it's been making a nice tidy little profit. But it could be a lot more if it carried more, I reckon, into this combat plant here. So what train are you? You're going at 50, your capacity is 84, so basically doing 2 trips a year, more or less. Can we make that bigger and better? You've got the the J&R D51, which is an okay locomotive, but I think if we upgrade you and put, I think we'll just make it a long train. Can I fit a long train in here? I should be able to. That's quite a long looking station, isn't it? Yeah. In fact, can I count it out? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's, well, it's only 160, isn't it? Yeah, 4 times 4 is 16. And this one here, likewise. Yeah, might need to make these bigger. Anyway, let's get this vehicle upgraded. So what do we have here? We have the steam locomotive, which is the D51, which is one of our most popular locos. And you are here. 53, 1280. It's a nice power ratio actually. And you're reduced to 50 by these gondola wagons that we're using here. So could I in fact just increase you up? Yeah, we could do that. Not a box cart, the gondola. Yeah. Actually, we could make you 180 capacity, 140 meters in length. Your performance is reduced dramatically, but have we got a more powerful locomotive we can put on there to replace you with? So these are the powerhouses down here. Well, we've only got 2 which are more powerful than the D51. There's the Russian and the other Russian. And would you work? Okay, if we take you off, put the L in there. Okay. Yeah, you might be alright. But what if we took you away and put the FD on? Ah, that's much better, isn't it? Now we could probably put another gondola on there. We want these by type. So there's the gondola. Do we have a more we do have the more modern gondolas, but they can go much faster, and that they're more expensive to run. I don't think they're worth it there. We don't have a 75-mile-an-hour loco or anything close really that would have the power to haul these. So I don't think that makes sense. So yeah, these are less than half price of the other one. I'll put another one of you on. That's 165 in length. Ooh. No, we'll leave it at that. 152. Okay, let's upgrade you. And you should fit quite nicely into those platforms. But you're going to take a while to get through, aren't you? Now, the combat lorry, the combat train, we might upgrade you as well, actually, while we're here. Just add another couple. Which loco are you? Oh, you're the same one. Oh, okay, performance isn't quite as good, though. We'll just add another flat car to you. Yeah, and that will do, I think. That's lovely. So that's that done. Where are you? Oh, I just want to check that it actually fits into that station without too much effort. So what's the rate on the line now? 379? Okay, it's not quite enough, but it's a lot better than it was. So here he is, pulling in. You should just about fit. You should fit perfectly onto that station. I mean, we could extend it, obviously, and we probably will in due course. Look at that. A perfect fit and no loading penalties. Awesome. Right, so that's done. Let's get back to the main part of this episode, which is dealing with these planes. Aha! This is looking okay, actually. The problem we've got with replacing airports, especially busy airports like Ajaxima is, in fact, like all my airports, they're all quite busy. The problem with these is that if you have any aircraft actually on the airport or circling the airport waiting to land, you can't delete the airport, and we're going to have to remove this. We can't simply upgrade it from a small to a large. We've actually got to replace it entirely. So we're going to have to remove a few aircraft. You've just landed, have you? Yeah, looks like you have. We've got any aircraft in the air? I'm not seeing any. I want you to... Actually, if I take you away... Yeah, we're going to have to lose these aircraft. We're going to lose all our passengers and cargo and all the money for the aircraft, but that we'll live with that. What are you? You're another one. Okay. Oh, you've just landed and delivered. That's fine. So we'll get rid of you. Now, if I actually get rid of you as well, sell you. Can I now delete this? It looks like I might be able to. Right, so this is going to be the main time-lapsey part of the video. Now, we've got various issues here. If we look at a large airport, it's going to be passenger and cargo. It's going to have to be a large one, which is this. And as you can see, it is substantially larger. So we want a hangar. We're going to have just the one passenger terminal. We'll add the cargo terminal on once it's in place. It is that bit larger. So we're going to have to delete some of these roads and some of these buildings, I think, to squeeze that in. And I've also got to remember that I've been putting fences down, like these fences here. So we may need to get rid of some of those. Now what I'm thinking I might do, if this still becomes congested, sorry about that switcheroo, if this does become congested again, even with the larger aircraft, I might put in a separate freight airport. And that would go over the other side, like here. I'll have to turn that round. Now I can't extend my station out that way, which is annoying, so I can't put a building or anything on there to connect the airport to the train station. What I'd like to be able to do is actually have this airport oriented so the buildings were at this right hand side rather than the left hand side, so I could slip it into this gap here, and which would reduce the amount of mountain destruction I'm going to have to do. But we don't appear to have an option. I don't think, let me know if you found one, I don't think there's an airport mod for large airports which allows you to place them without buildings or buildings at the other end. I might have another look for that. I mean, I can extend this platform and I can put buildings on here, so we can connect it to the airport I put there. There might be room here for it, but again, I'd like it to actually be part of the same sort of space as the railway station and the buses and the trucks and the rest of it, rather than being entirely separate. Which I could keep the passenger one separate, couldn't I? Because, no, we're going to stay with my original plan. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to crack on with doing this. I will do the building and destruction of 2 or 3 airports. We'll see when we get back how many I've managed to do in the time. I'll lay down some soundtrack tunes for you, and in the meantime enjoy this speed build, and I'll see you in a few minutes time on the other side. Well, I think that's all done now. Took a little bit of effort and thinking. But yeah, the issue we've got here is that the large airport does allow us to add a second runway. Although at this point, I think they come in 1960. Do correct me if I'm wrong, or I may put an annotation up anyway. But I think they come in about 1960, where you can add a second runway. I'm not sure if I've got room here for a second runway, which might help any congestion that we have running both freight and passenger here. Or we may need to put in a second airport for freight, I think, either on the other side of the mountain, or we may move the passenger side over here into this gap here. That might be easier to do, I think. We shall see how this goes on. However, we're now in a position to upgrade at least our passenger airport, sorry, our passenger aircraft. We didn't upgrade Hong Kong freight airport, so that one's still going to be using the smaller aircraft, which is fine. Let's have a quick check at that, actually. Yeah, you've got enough there. I think you should be all right. I'll keep an eye on that, see if we need to. So I think I did sell one of the planes on that route, so we'll see if that needs that plane replacing. But these, the passenger ones, I eventually sold 3 of these smaller aircraft. So let's see what we've got here, what we can replace them with. So each of you is carrying 15 at, how far? 226 miles an hour. So if I were to replace you with the Constellation prototype, or the Constellation, let's go passengers. Yeah, the Constellation L1049 carries 19 at 302. That might be enough, replacing those what were 7 with 4. We may need another one. We'll see what the passenger numbers look like in a year or two. So let's replace all of you and go and find one. There you are. Oh, you're approaching Ajaxima. Excellent. Well, let's get you running then. That's it. Crank up the speed. There's a lovely looking aircraft. I do quite enjoy flying over my islands. Oh, there's another one up there. Oh, missed you. Darn. So, would you be closer into... So that's you. Oh, you're a freight aircraft. Oh, this is probably the one we were following, wasn't it? Or maybe not, actually. You look to be closer. You see, I do think you're closer. So I want to keep an eye on the approach, because that railway line is very close to the airport entrance. It's coming in. The undercarriage is down. Alright, you're over that cargo route. Ooh, I think... Ooh. You might touch the tops of those wagons, I think. There's a serious risk of that. Oh dear. Right, the cargo has cargo waiting. There's no passengers as yet. Hopefully some will arrive. Are you... No. Is there anybody coming up from the town? Nobody. Oh dear. That's not good. Hopefully the passengers will start arriving soon. Now, this is slightly worrisome that we're not getting passengers here at all. Now, you are... Yeah, that bus route is definitely connected. And you are carrying people, but are you carrying anybody who's actually going to Silver Street, which is the airport connection? That's a passenger line, passenger terminal, isn't it? So come on, Mr. Bus, please drop a couple of passengers off here. You have one passenger. And where are you going? To an industrial building in Port Moresby. So you're just going down the road a bit. Oh, this is not good, is it? Yeah, we've got the odd person waiting here because that's a convenient stop within this industrial area to go back home. And really strange. There's definitely a passenger station as well. Passenger stop. Everything is connected, actually, is it as... Oh, I haven't missed... It's not connected to that road, is it? That's the problem. Ah, how many months has that taken me to work out? Oh, that is annoying. Oh, that's desperate. That is, isn't it? That is ridiculous. Okay. Right, you are definitely connected, like so. Oh. It's always the obvious thing, isn't it, that flummoxes you, that you fail to spot. Okay, and we'll put that, whoops, put the bus stop back. Silver Street. There you go. And Silver Street. Obvious. Oh, you're right. And that, I think, is a good place to stop this episode. We did see a few more locomotives come. Well, you didn't, I don't think, because I wasn't recording at that point. We did have a couple more locomotives and stuff turn up at the turn of 1953, so we'll look at those in the next episode. We may also upgrade Hong Kong Freight Airport. We've got plenty of room there to do that in, and hopefully I won't make the same newbie mistake. It's not a newbie, it's... Always check your connections. I know that. How long have I been playing this game? Since it came out. And I still make those stupid mistakes. There you go. Right, we should start seeing passengers on our airplanes now. So where's Ajaxima? No. Is anyone coming up to the airport? No. Well, we'll see that in due course. In the meantime, I'll say thank you so much for joining me today for this episode of Transport Fever 2. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, then please do let me know. A little bit of a like would be lovely. Just click on the old thumbs uppy button. Even better, if you've got anything to say about what I'm doing with the game or the game itself, then please do just drop a note into the comments box below. That would be awesome. And of course, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, you could do that now. And that way you'll know when I upload another one of these or any of my other Let's Play series. Well, from me, Ajaxpost, here in Transport Fever 2. Until the next time, bye bye for now.